We've reached our destination.
Have you got... Has checked your equipment lately?
The Vermilion vegetation certainly gives this realm a distinct, if...
I'll see you again tomorrow. I think we've rested long enough. Let's keep moving.
We should be able to cook here.
A dead end?
No, there's an elevator. Looks operational.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Danans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share about Almadria. You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me, or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail. This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Till then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almeidrea, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
You don't look so good. You all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Dahnans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Dahnans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Dahnans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective, from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Dahnan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Dahnans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Miguel, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shionne.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dahna. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shionne?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is and to amass such energy, slaves are needed to
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so, no one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really?
Of course. In that respect, at least. I'm really not that...
It's reassuring to hear you.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past...
You think too highly of me.
If that's so, why else?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Saar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city? Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300...
What I have come to understand is that the conflict... I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more
And you don't think you can...
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us
Insofar as an exchange of...
Not good enough.
Are you... Forgive me.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to him. Adria, I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almeidrea.
Xion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Now that's what—
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahag Saar.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it.
We don't know that she was only—
You think it's possible that they might have come from...
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show.
I wouldn't put it past.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to...
She's not the first, and she won't.
Sounds like you've made up your—
There was never anything to...
Yeah.
This might not be the best time. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsev when you fought...
Yeah, thanks for the
Balsev's brute strength was in a league all its own. Yet
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the...
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you that... Then again, the idea of not doing something
Only he who first faced...
Come again?
It's not...
I can carve through armor!
Gravitas field! Lightning!
Going in! Bring it down! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning!
Motherboard! Take it in!
Here I go! I'm lightning orb!
Demon Fang!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Get lost!
For my lord! Not today!
Dance in the wind! In here! Flame of fury! You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh? Here it comes! Fire support!
Raging cascade!
Raise
Flame! Dance in the wind! Here!
This armor's too strong! Split it open! Be my guest!
I'm never finished!
Now! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Got it! Let's dispose of the trash. Shining Supernova! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Not
Whirlwind Snap! These ones can run rings around us. Radiant
away.
here!
Crumble!
Wind Astral Energy!
In an instant! Impact Block!
Barely a blip on our radar.
That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
picked the wrong fight!
One more!
Dragon Form! Double Demon Fang!
No shield can stand up to these kids!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here's a healing
Beyond
arc!
chance!
Arctic
I owe you one!
Smash you!
My deal?
Now or never!
Listen! Talon Hurricane!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Gotta break through!
In a bind?
Lightning Orb! Dance in the wind!
Try
In
this!
here!
Take down their defenses!
I'm saving this one!
Pistol!
Champion Squirrel! More
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Double Demon Fang! We're not finished!
Now you see what I can do!
Mega Ray!
Dragon Swarm!
Tectonic Punch!
Do it!
Raging Cascade! Here's a healing arc! First
I
aid!
owe you one! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! There's always room for improvement. Gone!
Now you'll learn! Double Demon Fang!
Raging Star!
Dragon
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! I won't show you any mercy! You got spirit! Stardust!
Take this! Leave the impaling to me. Yeah!
Dragon Swarm! Eat them!
Dance in the wind, Lancer!
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Here I go!
I can carve through armor! Stardust!
Thunder Field!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Our work is done here. Let's...
Ow!
Double Demon Fang!
Flame!
Dragon Swarm!
You pay for what you did!
Dragon Dragon Swarm!
I'll heal you all!
Demon Fang! Out of the way! No escape!
Healing circle!
Dragon Swarm! We're not
I
finished!
really owe you one.
Magic
Double
advance!
Demon Fang! Eat this!
In here!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Right, here
Triple
goes!
marksman!
Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
Double Demon Fang!
Gemini
Dragon Swarm! Rebel! Stop Dragon Swarm!
Hear my call!
Dragon Swarm!
Glacier Steel! Here's evil!
I can carve through armor!
Ready to go!
Double
Here's
Demon
the
Fang!
raging cascade!
Blow away!
Hear my call! Magic advance!
Burn! Be still!
Not on my watch! Here's a healing arc! Shining Supernova!
Double Demon Fang!
More with
Lightning strike!
Gemini Aqua!
Lewis, what did you do?
Dance in the wind!
Dragon Swarm!
Field! More for the stockpile!
Double Demon Fang!
Lightning
Here
Too much to handle!
I come! On your knees!
Big swirl!
Double Demon Fang!
Ice crystal!
You're finished!
Here! Light
Here I
crystal
come!
energy!
If
It's in the sky, it's mine! Dance in the wind!
You require a hand.
Field!
You won't make a fool of me!
In a bind?
I'll be safe this way!
Lightning thrust!
Shining Supernova!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Let's refrain from losing.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Radiant here! Supernova!
We did it!
Let me help. It's a duel of the arts. Water, hear my call.
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Lightning raging cascades! In here, not in your dreams. Healing circle.
Dragon Swarm!
Spot.
My turn!
Photon Thank you.
Eat dirt!
Air thrust.
Dragon Swarm!
Photon Slash. Do it! Magic is amped.
Don't get careless.
Lost.
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation.
Double Demon Fang! Dragon
Showdown
Swarm!
between blade and
Wait
fist.
now.
No!
Let the marksman handle
Take
it.
this!
Where are you going?
I can only rely
Dragon
on my...
Swarm!
Too much to handle?
Double Demon Fang!
Now, by the power of... Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Not a chance!
Photon raging
Strike!
Take this.
Dragon Swarm!
Rip it.
This one's all mine!
Raging roar!
Raging Strike!
Raging
Blow away! Ignite! Glimmer Dragon! Dragon Swarm!
Not my watch!
Whirlwind
Dance in the wind!
Double Demon Fang!
Field!
Blow away!
I'll be saving this one!
These fists has got your name on them.
Strike! Mega Ray! By the power of water!
Leave the charge
Mega
to me.
Ray!
Roar!
Dance in the wind!
Dragon Swarm!
On a roll now.
Raging Strike!
Lost! You alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Lightning condemned! Thunder Blade!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
It's over?
All right.
Sorry! That does it!
Damn it. Only I'd been more careful.
I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss! Resuscitation! Lightning!
Not done yet!
I'll heal you all! Healing circle!
I was overconfident.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation. The arts are being interrupted.
Spread! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Freeze Lancer!
Any more of this and I'll burn out.
First aid!
You can't get out of this!
I've still got some fight left in me.
It's on!
Light action!
I'll smash you!
Here!
Captivity!
I'm out of ammo!
Burn in hell!
First aid!
Dragon Swarm!
I never miss! I'll be saving this
So you clamor for my true power? Resonate with the earth! On your way! The enemy wields our speed!
You'll soon see about that!
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision! On your knees! Radiant thrust! Blow away! Resonate with the earth!
Water! Here, Captain!
Handle it.
Resonate with the earth!
Confiscated!
Do not!
Blah, blah, blah!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Looks like some solid equipment. Here's a healing art! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Here, let me help. First strike! Here goes! More where that came from! Crazy Cassie, Mega Ray! Annihilation! Lightning!
Too fast!
Now!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Now! You're mine!
Dragon Shower! Back into the ready!
Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zeugles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here. This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
It looks and smells like some kind of medicine.
Whatever this...
Little help!
Chargers to me!
See one, eh?
Where's mine?
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm gonna take my revenge on you!
Do it! Take this! Pick up... Fire!
I got them! Let a marksman handle it!
Strong! All yours! Be my guest! Take this! Here I come! Lightning strike!
Thunderblade! Burning strike!
Take this!
Here's a healing art! Fire up!
It's on!
Dragon core! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
I'll heal you all!
Dragon Swarm! Burn!
Dragon Swarm!
Watch Demon Fang!
Reload! Just one more!
Take it, will ya?
Dance in the wind! Shadows!
Dragon Swarm!
Now you see what I can do! Where are you going? Thunderblade!
Demon Fang! Eat this! Dragon Swarm!
Help this!
Double Demon Fang! Come on,
Do it now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almeidrea sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almeidrea's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almeidrea may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. An opponent like this should be easy. You got spirit! Eat this!
Fire support!
Dragon Force!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Champion
I'm pretty worn out.
This'll make us even more formidable.
Bring him down! This one's all mine! Rolling snap! Not today! Double demon back!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
We're not waiting! I'll smash you! My shield war!
Radiant Blast!
I'm on! Double demon bang! Fall back! Hurricane!
Here I
Dragon
go!
Sword!
Unsealed! Confiscated!
My concentration is dwindling. Perhaps I'm tired.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Engaging! Dragon Sword! Sword! Burn in hell!
Gale Force! This one's yours! It's a win!
Hurricane! Dragon!
Here, let me help. I can't heal you forever.
Dragon Swarm! Great! Next, try this!
Hear my call.
With this! Fire support!
Freeze Lancer!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Finally, some open space again.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Whoa, that came out perfect. This...
I swear.
And who made...
No one!
Did you...
Huh? What do you mean? Oh,
Well, don't be. I can...
you say that, but you know what's gonna happen.
It's none of your business.
Arguing over the consumption of a frozen dairy product. Ah, to be young.
Naive might be...
This flavor? Why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Little help!
Where
are you going?
Double Demon Fang!
Raging Storm! Ready to go! This works!
You're finished!
Do it! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Glacial Spear!
No
Here's
chance.
evil!
Ignite! Dragon Swarm! Be still!
Hurricane!
Dragon Swarm! You're mine!
Denied!
Swallow Dance!
Do it!
Come on!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Gotta break through! I see one, eh?
See what I can do!
Dragon Swarm! Swallow Dance!
Lightning
Double
Orb!
Demon Fang!
Lightning Control!
Dragon Swarm!
Thunderblade!
We're not finished! Fall down!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here I
No
go!
chance!
And again!
A comfortable win.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Right, here goes! Bring him down! Dragon Swarm! Ignite!
No, not my watch!
Dragon Swarm!
They really don't give up. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! No chance!
Got this one's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
A comfortable win.
No choice! Now you'll learn!
Armor won't save you!
Like shield! Double Demon Fang! We're not finished! Here and now! You're mine!
I'm here! Handle it!
Got fire!
I've got it! Let a marksman handle
All yours!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! No!
Flame of Fury!
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
Gale Force!
My turn! Dragon Swarm!
Air Thrust! Freeze Lancer! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Got you now!
Now you see what I can do!
Dragon
Like
Swarm!
shield?
That's enough! Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane!
We're not
Do it!
finished!
Theon! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
No chance! Dragon Swarm! My turn!
Raging Cascade!
Strike!
Glacial Spear!
In a bind?
Here's evil!
On your
Hey! Malevolent! Wizard Blood! Freeze Lancer! I never miss!
Tear you apart! Raining Slap!
Mega
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Swallow Dance!
Not my one!
Rip and tear!
Burn!
Anything in order to make a
Dragon Swarm!
Smash you!
I'll heal you all!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Healing Circle!
Go away!
Thank you!
Water Dragon Swarm!
Hey, what?
Solid Storm!
Raging Storm!
Dragon Swarm!
Celestial Hammer!
Storm!
Ice Crystal! Glacial
You're
Spear!
mine! On
Here's
your
evil!
Dragon Dance!
Lightning Orb! Lightning Orb! Arcade Waterfall! Sleep now! I'll be ready!
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang! You're mine!
Swallow Dance!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
freeze.
Get in, get out.
Black Shield? You picked the wrong fight. Dragon Form! We're not kidding!
Arcade waterfall!
Do it! Rip it!
Here! Mine!
Dragon Form!
In a bind.
Double Demon Fang! You're finished!
Ready now!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade.
Barely a blip on our radar.
Looks like we've spotted one of Poodle's friends.
Dragon Form!
Not in your dreams!
Double Demon Fang! Swallow Dance! Start up! Here I come! You're finished!
I never miss!
Burn!
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! My turn! I'm on! Dragon Swarm! Hurricane!
Now I'm in the groove.
Blew away!
I'm practically unstoppable.
Ow! You got spirit!
Armor won't save you.
Dragon Swarm! Damn it, Betty! Double Demon Fang! Lightning Thrust!
Glacial
Start up!
Spear!
I'm on!
Here's evil!
Talon Hurricane! Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Dragon Swarm!
Watch this.
Rolling Snap!
Now!
Swallow Dance! Rising Phoenix! My turn! I'm not done! This one's all mine! Ignite! I owe you one! Here I come!
Now!
Jump up!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Could have been worse.
No backing down.
I see one,
Anything in armor is
Double Demon Fang! I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! Now! I'll smash you! Start
Take
Shield!
this.
Raging do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Get lost!
Take this!
Sky is mine!
Dragon Swarm! It can hide itself? Amazing!
Moon interruption! Here goes! I never miss!
Double Demon Fang! Eat this! Damn it!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
My turn!
Swallow energy! In here! Healing denied!
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
Healing flame of fury!
Anything in armor is
Hear my call!
It's on! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm! I owe you one! Dragon Swarm! Talon Storm!
Photon flash!
Come quiet! Here I come! Take it!
Here's a healing art! Here goes! First aid! Not in your dreams!
The earth
Here I
throbs
go!
in
Raging
pain.
cascade!
Can't get out of
Set the ray!
Dragon Swarm!
Here's a healing art! Air thrust! First aid!
I'll teach you
Astral energy!
It's on! Not today!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Here's a healing arc!
Now!
Hit! First aid! Lightning step! Moving corruption! I'm ready! By the power of water! Dance in the wind! In here!
Dragon Swarm!
First aid! This one! I never miss!
Double Demon Fang! Try harder! My turn!
Moving corruption!
Now you see what I can do!
Gemini Aqua! Freeze Lancer!
Try harder! Not a chance! Take this! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it!
Hey, won't
I'll
get
leave it to
away
you!
with that! I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Take this!
Arcane Waterfall!
No further!
Freeze Lancer! Ready to go!
Not done yet!
Ready!
Dragon Swarm! Raining Slash!
Chinese
Blow away!
Dance in the wind! I'll
Blow
heal
away!
you now!
Raining
I'll
Slash!
be saving this one!
You're finished!
Lightning Orb!
You're mine!
War without ready to go! Mega Red!
Raining Slash!
Dance in the wind! Here's the evil!
Eat this!
Dragon Air Thrust! Photon Flow! Magic is there!
Double Demon! Do it! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw!
We're still standing. Barely.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking. The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
What's wrong, sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
this the ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Be on your guard. For all we know, there could be something hiding around here.
Here I go! I'm only getting started! Back into the fray! If you're in the sky, it's mine! Annihilation! This one's mine! In the wind!
It's almost too strong.
Then I'll split it open!
Be my guest. I can carve through armor. You look like steel.
I can't
Where
do
is
it!
it?
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
I've used a bit too much healing.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Anything in order is all gone!
Abort! Mission!
Here's the evil!
Burn!
In here!
Dragon Form!
The stockpile!
Double demon fang!
More where that came from!
Seems about right to me.
This looks nice and tough.
I can carve through armor!
Confiscated!
Take this!
Here! I'll shoot them out of the sky!
Raining flash! Blow away!
One last! Go for the weak point!
Double demon fang!
Weak out of energy!
Dragon Form!
Annihilation! Lightning!
Double demon fang! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down! Astral energy!
I'm on it!
Raging cascade!
Where
are you going?
Burn!
Nothing gets by me! Into the shadows! Lightning orb! Remember where that came from! Dance in the wind! Field! Lunar Claw!
Double demon fang!
Radiant storm!
Take this!
Downfall! Out of ammo! Back into the fray! Chinese supernova!
Dragon Form!
Here! Raging cascade!
Blow away!
Let's give it a whirl! Dance in the wind! Here I go!
I'll smash you!
Right! I'll end this with my own hands! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Confiscated!
Let's freaking done it!
Right at the
Dragon
wind!
Form!
In here!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Explosive Ring!
I never magic is there! Freeze Lancer!
Nothing gets by
Do
me!
it! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more! We won. Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check.
If Almeidria's not in her own room...
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would get...
Which means she's most likely
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon. I hate to say it, but
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy.
Right. To that woman, life itself is... One last place to look. Straight ahead.
There she is! Almeidria!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almeidria.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like a rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in the ends. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almeidria.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of! Mesmold! Enjoy your meal! Had eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me!
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you! Gemini Aqua!
Right, I can carve through armor!
Waterfall! Freeze Lancer! Radiant Pierce! In here! Here!
You picked the wrong fight!
Burning Strike!
I'm not done!
Hear my call! Elementor! Lightning Orb! Lightning
Be
Eagle!
still!
First Stunner! Water Astral Energy!
I'll tear you apart!
Here I go! Go!
Take it away!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm
not feeling so crazy.
More for the stop! Ready to go! Far enough! First aid! This one's mine! More with that thing! See, this one's mine!
Try harder! My turn!
Razor Cyclone!
Eat dirt!
Here goes!
Swallow dance!
Healing Circle!
Blow away! Armor won't save you!
Mega Ray! Not in your dreams!
Damn you!
Connect to the wind!
Tectonic
In here!
fool!
I'll be saving you!
Try harder! Not a chance!
Take this! In a bind?
More with that kick
Double
drop!
Demon Fang!
Gemini Aqua! By the power of water! Here's a dance to the wind!
Running Slash!
Field!
Struck!
I'll be saving you! Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike! Glacial Spear! Now here's the evil!
Double Demon Fang!
Freeze Lancer! Aqueous Surge!
Leave the charges to
More
me!
with that kick drop!
You picked the wrong fight!
Downfall! Sighted! Here goes!
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power!
Get ready! This one's not on my watch!
Blew away!
This one's mine!
Denied!
Sealed!
Get out of this! Now you see what I can do!
Searing Lightning
this!
Orb! More with that kick!
You picked the wrong fight!
Target down!
Try harder! Now! Double Demon Fang!
Stay away!
Now! While it's reeling!
Take it down!
Are you feeling it?
Double Demon!
Now or never! Take this! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Leave the charges to me! Far enough! Ready to Now you see what I can
They're
do!
attacking separately!
I can't land a hit on
her!
Keep an eye on her, and take out the monster first.
Come on, try harder!
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that.
Yeah, take it away!
This one's mine.
You will suffer.
Hey, that...
That looks bad.
Wits about you people.
Healing circle.
Thanks.
Here with that burning strike.
The winds of judgment blow your way. Fall before impending calamity. Chaotic disaster.
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arts aren't so special. And now... Divine! I'll heal you all! I'll
Double demon fang!
Just try it.
This is looking good.
Magic is in!
Armor won't save you.
Try harder!
Healing circle! Radiant star! Long sword! I give you a healing
Dragon! You'll pay for that!
Can't get out of this.
I'll bring you back from Death's abyss!
Dragon form!
Grind and rend!
Rip and
Blow
tear.
away!
I never miss! I feel that
Rain
silence!
slap! Talon hurricane!
Gemini!
It can't be happening.
I can't lose! Hit! Lightning condemns! Healing Thunderblade! Hey, that...
Try harder!
Burning! Hear my call! Spread! Will this happen in your dream? I'll heal you all!
Take
Now!
Rain slap! Vacuum! It's on!
Light astral energy!
Burn in hell!
More with that keeper!
Rain
Radiant
slap!
Can't get out of this!
Will this help? Freeze Lancer!
Blow away!
Dance in the wind!
Try harder! My turn!
Now!
I really hope...
Try harder!
Into the shadows! I'm all stuffed up! Lightning orb!
Blow
I'll
away!
heal you all! More with that keeper!
Rain slap!
Blow away! Healing circle! Magic is in!
will
Here!
die.
More for the south side! Corruption!
Charges to me.
Annihilation! Mega Ray! Let them hear! I'll be saving. Where are you going?
Her master core.
Not while I'm around, she isn't.
I owe you one.
Tempted?
Rain slap! It's on!
I'm only getting started.
Not today!
Go get it! Archwell! I'll never forgive you.
What?
I'll take you down! I'll end you!
Trigger!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in, and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Dahnan, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Dahnan or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again.
Oh, Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Ganath Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Shionne!
Alvin!
Shionne!
Alvin!
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign. After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home. I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake. As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out. Might as well head back to my... I just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Leori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Leori. No!
Wait, please. Wait, I... What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Naori. Shion. I... Damn it!
Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash! You're mine! It's over! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Raining Slash! Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash! Try harder! Not a chance! Be still! You're mine! Blow away! We did it! My turn! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Blow away! Raining Slash! Dragon Swarm! Dazzle! Rising Falcon! It's on! Eat dirt! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash!
Alvin?
Rinwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Rinwell, where are we?
Ganeth Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's...
I think Huro senses an owl around here. Speaking of Thistlelim, it's populated by Dahnans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. The whole town was built by Dahnan. This area's teeming with stray Zeugles, though, so the ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah.
And your sense of pain, too. It was...
Really? Oh!
Probably.
I wonder if Alphen's going to be okay.
For now, I believe we should hold off on speculation and simply keep an eye on him.
Right. You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
ever. Take this!
Aqua attack!
Elusive
Dragon
deity!
Form! Double Demon Fang!
Take a bit high! Dispatch it out again!
Durma!
Dance in the wind!
Resonate with the
Dragon
earth!
Form!
Stalagmite!
More for the stockpile!
Raining Slash!
Hydration orb!
Begin!
I'm not done!
Catapult!
Thunder blade!
Double Demon
Now!
Fang! Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross! Now!
Resonate with the earth!
Arctic
Stalagmite!
Waterfall!
On
Freeze
your
Lancer!
this one!
Dance in the wind!
Eat dirt!
Air thrust! Light astral
Dragon
energy
Form!
burst malevolent! Magic is
Double
there!
Demon Fang!
Seal!
Raining Kill!
I'll be saving this one!
No escape! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
Raging Storm! More where
Lightning
that came
Thrust!
from!
I'm ready!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Whoo! Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe!
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Xion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegis.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dana. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Dahnan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Shion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renin maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imerys.
Imerys? As in Shion Imerys?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years, and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renin invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about
about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the... right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Xion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Xion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Xion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Dahnan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan Sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Dahnan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the Sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.